Spread your wings on Splash 105.5 FM.
In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them? I'm not on trial, so I can't go before you.
Join the radio man, Edmund Obilo, on state affairs, local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structure or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
Dear friends, to be self-possessed is to realize unchanging principles in our consciousness, in the way we see things, in the way we accept events. It also reflects in our interpretation of our environment. But I've come to understand that indestructible principles make a man calm and dauntless. It is in the hour of crisis which decides who are minions of darkness and who the children of light. It is the epoch of threatening disaster, ruin, and persecution which divides the sheep from the goats and reveals to the reverential gaze of succeeding ages the men and women of power. The point is that it is in time like this that great leadership emerge. It is a moment of suffering when the people lose hope that a leader springs up and show them the way to go. Have you seen the one? Are you watching out? It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. The program is State Affairs. I am Edmund Obilo. Good morning and welcome. President Muhammadu Buhari gives the military 6 weeks to restore order by containing the activities of bandits that are killing and kidnapping persons in the country. The president directs that anyone found with AK-47 should be shot. This is part of the administration he leads desperate measures to check the violence in Nigeria. Let's listen to the president.
But in the northwest, virtually the same people, the same culture, stealing each other's cattle or whatever, killing each other, burn their villages. As a result of that, we had 4 hours meeting of the Security Council. That is Minister of Internal Affairs, Minister of Defense, Service Chiefs, Chief of Defense Staff, Inspector General of Police, and the rest of them. And nearly we gave them clear instructions. One thing that got to the press, which I read myself, was that anybody with AK-47 should be shot. Because AK-47 is supposed to be registered and is only given to security officials.
That's the president there. A president that was talking to leaders of traditional councils in Nigeria. It was at the State House in Abuja. You recollect that last week, presidential spokesman Garba had announced that the president has directed security agencies to shoot AK-47 within gunmen in the bushes of Nigeria. The president links the dangerous activities of bandits to the proliferation of arms and ammunition in the country. Despite acknowledging that the best of his administration in tackling the uprisings is not good enough, he gives the assurance that the military will restore order.
We are going to be very hard on the criminals. The service chiefs have been changed. The ones that succeeded them have been in the system. They know what is wrong. They know the constituencies. They know the people. I said confidence must be restored in governance within the next 6 weeks. Otherwise, we may be stopped because people may not go back to their farms. They have been chased away from their farms. Their houses have been burnt. Their animals have been taken away from them, so they don't even mind dying. But what I said, we have to state confidence within the next 6 weeks in people so that people can go back to their land, produce what we eat. We have a problem, but I assure you we are doing our best. Our best hasn't proved to be good enough, but we are getting desperate. And we have given the orders to the military especially. In 6 weeks' time, I want to see a difference.
You heard the president. 6 weeks. Go and restore order. Restore confidence so that the people can go back to farm. The president is saying 6 weeks. Restore order. The president used the occasion of the visits of the traditional rulers to call on governors to improve their security situation in their states by looking inward. He mentioned the governors of Oyo and Ondo.
When 2 governors of Ondo and Oyo State rushed me when there was this crisis in several of the forests, I said, go back. After leaving secondary school, I joined the military from second lieutenant to general, and I knew during those processes, in each local government and in each locality, there is a security council. The traditional leader there, institution, whichever police officer at whichever level will be there. And then if there are herders or people from other areas which are non-indigenous, they are part of it. This committee was throughout Nigeria. And they used to report up to the state governor. And then the state governor, if there is something more serious, he's brought it to the president. I say, go and resuscitate the security apparatus. The traditional leaders cannot go away from wherever they are. So they are permanently in that committee. And then cattle rearers or business people or whatever, like what caused a problem in Southwest recently, they are representing those committees. And of course the Nigerian police will be there. So that security issues are tackled appropriately at every level. Now we have relaxed. Anything that happens, somebody will run to the presidency.
Anything that happens, somebody will run to the presidency. The president is saying, stop running to the presidency. That take charge. Take charge of the security of your people in your state. What the president is saying is that governors have no excuses to make. They are the chief security officers of their states, and they should exact themselves. That is the point the president made in that statement. And I go with the president. Governors are powerful enough as to protect the people in their state by going the lawful ways, enacting legislations that will put the safety of the people at the front burner. Mr. President has made the point clear. Stop running to the presidency. Act as governor. And remember, security is not just about guns. In fact, more important to security is the question of education, the question of health, the question of transportation. And governors are in charge of these sectors. Therefore, I insist that every governor in Nigeria today are the chief security officers of their state, despite the fact they don't control the police. Questions are being raised against the shoot-on-sight order. Does it negate existing laws? I mean laws requiring that those with illegal arms be disarmed, arrested, prosecuted and jailed if found guilty? Senior lawyer Femi Falana argues that by virtue of Section 35 of the Firearms Act, the president has to make a proclamation with respect to the prohibition of possession of firearms and ammunition. He says the directive comes with a legal backing when it is a signed declaration in form of an executive order. You recall that President Buhari gave a similar order during the 2019 election period, asking that anyone found disrupting the election process be shot. But Falana proceeds that such blanket orders amount to the president calling for a death penalty against the provision of the law that persons found with such weapons should be disarmed, arrested, and prosecuted. Hard times, they say, require hard measures. Remember, the president says these are desperate times. It's a desperation founded on the rise in killings and destructions of properties by bandits. Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom, in a desperate period, takes on the president for not doing enough to check the activities of Fulani herdsmen who go about with AK-47. His February 3rd outburst before this recent shoot-on-sight order was an expression of the existential threat the people face if government failed to respond appropriately to the activities of killers parading themselves round the country. Going back into time, Samuel Ortom, on the 3rd of February 2021.
This country belongs to all of us. And the federal government, the presidency, must act fast because time is going. From not west, northeast, north central, southwest, southeast, south. There is general insecurity. And this is being prepared by herdsmen. I want to repeat again, I have made it a petition to the presidency and to all security agencies before, that if they want peace, Mayor Tiala must be arrested. These are people who have owned up. They have taken responsibility that they have killed, they maim, they rape, and do all sorts of atrocities. And yet their leadership is in Abuja, and nobody is confronting them. And until these people are arrested, when I talk, I was being vilified. Nothing bad that was not said against me. I am this and that. But the reality is here. It is not just happening to Benue State today, it is happening to the entire country. Why is the federal government being silent about this Fulani men? When will the federal government come out and criticize and arrest herdsmen carrying AK-47? When are they going to do that? Are we second citizens in this country? What gives Fulani man superior to any other person, to a tip man? I am not their slave. A Benue man is not a slave to any Fulani man in this country.
Now that President Buhari has responded, Autumn's tone has changed. He is full of joy while hoping that security operatives carry out the order of the president to the letter.
I want to commend Mr. President for the order that I heard he has already given, that any Nigerian or non-Nigerian with AK-47 should be shot. They find you going about with AK-47. You should be dealt with. And I think that is the way to go. That is what we were expecting. And that is why I wrote to Mr. President. And that is why I was criticizing that there should be no sacred cow in this country. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. And so everyone should be the same. That is all. Yes, and justice. Once that is done, we have no problem. So I commend Mr. President. You must be decisive. And that was why I say you should wake up before it is late. Allowing foreign Fulani herdsmen to come and destroy our country. And I prefer that I will say the truth. Even if God permits I'll die, I'm okay. But let the truth be told. The president is the father of all. It's not about political party. It's not time for politics. We have more than 2 years now to play. When that time comes, we'll talk about it. But now, we should ensure that our people live in peace. So I commend him, and I believe that for us here in Benue State, this order that has been given, if it is implemented, our IDPs can go back to their ancestral homes and live peacefully and go about farming, so that the issue of food insecurity will not be there. That is all that some of us are saying. We have nothing against Fulani people or Mr. President. The Thief man and Fulani man, even Mr. President, when we meet, we crack joke. But this one, foreign Fulani is coming from Mali, from Niger, from all those who come and kill us here. That one is not accepted. So I'm very happy. We're having a Security Council today, and it's one of the things that we're going to take off, and I believe that the security agencies will live up to expectation so that we can live in peace instead of bringing these sentiments, Thief, Fulani, all those things. I don't believe in those things. We should believe in one Nigeria, and I believe in one Nigeria.
That's Samuel Autumn there, believing in one Nigeria, commending President Buhari for giving the order to shoot on sight any AK-47 wielding man or woman in Nigeria. But I have some questions. To what extent would the order change events in Nigeria? Why are there growing insurgencies in Nigeria? Why is Nigeria not an economically advanced state? You can leave your messages for me. Go on State Affairs page on Facebook. Join the dialogue there. You can join the dialogue on my pages on Facebook. Search for Edmund Obilo. And you can join me on Instagram at Obilo. On Twitter at Obilo. On LinkedIn, search for Edmund Obilo. Twitter Splash FM 1055 at Splash FM 1055. You can watch us on Splash FM YouTube page, on Splash FM Facebook page, and you can also watch this program on Edmund Obilo's page on Facebook. Are you there? Are you following the dialogue? The president has given a shoot on sight order. Shoot on sight. Yahya Abdul Samad Olamilekon is saying how many of such directives has been given in the past to no effect. I learned Kaduna has the greatest concentration of military formations in this country. But even Kaduna has become an easy prey. Abdul Samad Olamilekon is saying he sees nothing changing about the situation, especially when both state and non-state actors perpetually make excuses for banditry and kidnapping. Markestus Adeshino Shinowo is here on Edmund Obilo's page on Facebook. He says, inasmuch as I would like to commend Mr. President on these better late than never directives, I would like to ask him that must we get to our wits' end before he gives orders for the tanks to be rolled out? As a leader, must the nation's travails get to injury time before Mr. President blows the whistle? Markestos says we are hurt already, and our prolonged silence only rubs more salt into our wounds. Markestos Additional Shinowo has spoken. Oluwafemi Olagunju is on Edmund Obilo's page on Facebook. He says Nigeria is not an economically advanced state because Nigeria lacks meritocracy. The most unqualified people often get to offices that require the best brains. This is partly why Nigerians excel in developed countries. Are you here? Don Mula is here. Don Mula is saying Buhari's directive came late, but its effectiveness may never be felt, as its history of Nigeria, Boko Haram issues can be used as a reference. Tululokpe Olatunde says that the footnote is just very correct of what causes the present situation in Nigeria. What is the footnote here? What did the radio man say in the footnote? The radio man says banditry is also a consequence of socio-economic hardship, that poverty ignites violence as the struggle for scarce resources brings out the brutish and nasty nature of men. As people get poorer, they get more violent. Yes, that's the note you'll find in my post this morning on Edmund Obilo's page, on State Affairs page, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Remember, you can watch live on Edmund Obilo's page on Facebook, on Splash FM page on Facebook. By the shoot on sight order, the president brings rays of hope. But is hope enough in this dire situation? This chart with Senator Kola Balogun representing Oyo South paints the picture of the desperate moment in Nigeria. You are a member of the Senate Committee on Army.
Yes, I am.
So what has the committee discovered to be wrong with insecurity in Nigeria?
Well, there are quite a number of things we have discovered. On one of those oversight visits, each time we'll go out, come back, review the situation, and have a meeting with the security personnel. I asked a question because I observed that our intelligence network within the rank and file is not good enough. And I pointed that out in one of such meetings. I also discovered that, take for example, the issue of Boko Haram. There's been infiltration of the criminals within the rank and file. So the authority needs to flush them out. A colleague of mine who also went on a visit, as a matter of fact, to Father and State from Osun State, to Borno, on another committee, but it was a joint committee visit. He told me a story. That's, do I know why we're not likely to be able to win this war? That the Boko Haram will come to the IDP camp and will be invited to their food. They even go to the extent of impregnating some of these girls in IDP camp. They know them.
They know them.
Of course. So how could you be a criminal, a bandit, and you come to IDP camp?
And you have soldiers there.
There are soldiers there. But then, the issue is not really about the service chiefs. Recall has been called to sack the service chiefs. You can serve this set of service chiefs, replace them with another set, unless you go for the real reason.
But that was the call of the Senate. Sack the service chiefs.
Yeah, but it was not hearkened to by the executive arm of government.
No, the president has listened to the Senate.
Well, thank God he has finally done so. But maybe you could take consolation in the fact that sometimes better late than never. But see, when we passed that resolution, the next day it was reported by the media handlers of the president that it's not our responsibility to dictate to the... We're not dictating to the president. For God's sake, we're an important arm of government. Our resolution should be respected, our motion should be respected, our opinion should be respected.
But resolutions are not binding.
That is it. But then, you don't have to wait for a binding resolution for you to look at what an important arm of government is doing. And then you act accordingly. For as long as there's no ulterior motive in it, as long as the final objective is the safety and security of Nigerians, why not take a look at it?
Senator Kola Balogun there talking about the state of insecurity in Nigeria. He is a member of the Senate Committee on Army. As the days come, one is reminded of a future of hope. Hope. I know hope eases the pain of the moment. Hope is what inspires creativity and development because hope gives effect to the imaginations of the mind. As hope fades, as peace becomes elusive. But peace and progress are functions of outstanding official policies in great leadership. With woeful leadership, The people are trapped by poverty and violence. As self-preservation, an essential law of nature, is threatened, the people agonize about the inadequacies of their government. Now, to ensure their survival, our people elect governments to serve their security and common good. Is that what you have done by electing those that govern at the moment? As collective survival becomes national security, the people are defended from external and internal forces out to subdue and destabilize the state. The bandits are an example of these forces. The military is therefore established to upstage the forces of destabilization. You know what that means? It simply means that the military is the purest form of the state. When the military is pure, whether the military is small or big, it wins its battles. And when the military is pure, it becomes the people's army, not the president's army. In that case, the military defends the sovereignty, the territorial integrity of the state. And don't forget, sovereignty belongs to the people. So a pure military is the people's military, not the president's military. However, the people elect a president to guide the military. The reason the president is the commander-in-chief. Look at this military. Has this military ensured the security and welfare of the people? If the military is alive to its responsibilities, bandits will not ride roughshod on communities. But note, the military does not exist in isolation. The character of the military, on most occasions, is the character of the political leadership. That is why political leadership must be left for those with a high sense of responsibility, those who are fascinated by great ideas. It's when you have such leaders that it reflects on the military. Could it be said that the military operates with equipment and ammunition inferior to those of the marauders? I remember Ali Ndume. He is the chairman Senate Committee on Army. He says Nigeria is at war. He says to end the war, the state must equip the military. But let's look at it from this point. The public funding of national defense is fundamental to the survival of the state. For me, I love the military. I see the military as intrinsic to national development. That is why the military should be the hallmark of intellectualism. Because intellectualism is defense. Defense is science. Science is innovation. So a military must operate at the height of intelligence. The survival of the state is the defense of the territorial integrity, national sovereignty, freedom, government, people, and values of the state. What are the values of the Nigerian state? Those values of nationhood that drive the people. Do we have such values? By the absence of general and complete disarmament, maintaining armed forces sufficient for the defense of the state is not debatable. However, amassing weapon systems and building up defense and security manpower is the traditional concept of national security. And this concept is aimed at the relative freedom from harmful threats. So the idea of stockpiling arms is freedom from war. That's what's called deterrence. You can see China at the moment. China is about building the biggest naval force in the world. And America is responding. America is watching keenly. Why are they amassing weapons in the international system? It is due to one advantage called deterrence. If America knows that China is ready, that China has what it takes to defend itself, America will not attack China because he knows China can fight back. In the Nigerian case, there's no true deterrence. The bandit is not really scared of the military. That is why the bandit takes on the military. In our time, the bandit will not dare take on the military because we will build a pure army. The army of the people. The bandit will now become the people. He will not be a bandit because the army of the people will create wealth for the people and there will not be bandits. In case a madman springs up and becomes a bandit, the state will take care of him. That is the state of our own. That is the state we want to build. I was going through some of the writings of Professor Osisioma Nwolise not too long ago. And I like what he said here. Let me quote him. He says a country may have the best armed forces in terms of training and equipment, the most efficient police force, the most efficient customs men, the most active secret service, and the best quality prisons, and yet be the most insecure nation in the world as a result of defense and security problems from within. Osisioma Nwolise says from within. And what are those problems from within that threaten national security? Bad government. Sorry to make this point. Our political leaders have proven to be more dangerous than the bandits. Bad governance is the height of banditry. It is bad governance that throws up the little bandits in the forests. Those ones are the little bandits. It is bad governance that introduce criminals. That is not to say some are not born criminals, but when a state is capable, those ones will be dealt with. Bad governance, hunger, unemployment. That's Nwolise there. So survival is the attainment of peace and progress of the individual and society. When the individual is happy, the state becomes rich. You cannot have sad citizens on the street and say the state is developing. What is the essence of government? Government is to create the enabling environment for the people to be creative. It is the people that develop themselves, not really government. What government does is to create enabling environments so that the people can think, so that the people can innovate. It's individual innovation summed up that equals national progress. So when the individuals are poor, it means they cannot think appropriately to create. Therefore, the state is poor. And before you know it, there's anarchy. So for you to build great individuals that will develop the state, you have to pour money into education, which is national security. You put in money into agriculture, that is national security. Put money into health, then you will buy less of weapons. Because if these sectors are active, if these sectors are productive, you will spend less money on arms. You will spend less money on recruiting soldiers. So in a poor state, go and check the defense budget in poor countries. You discover that they have this bulky budget That does not mean big countries don't have that bulky budget. But in their own case, America spends so much on defense for economic reasons to attract wealth to America. But we spend so much money on defense to kill our people that have become bandits. When a state begins to kill its own people in the name of banditry, there's something wrong with the state. How many will you kill? You kill the bandits in Zafaraki, shoot all of them. You will shoot the militants in Niger Delta, kill them. The Eastern Security Network boys in Biafra land, shoot them. By the end of the day, you are killing all your citizens and they are fighting back. There is total war and chaos. I hope Mr. President understands. I hope we understand. Remember that the Senate leader, Yahya Abdullahi, told the world that 350 million, 70%, of the 500 million illegal arms in West Africa are in Nigeria. Use that for your analysis and you will understand. The volume of arms in Nigeria, in the face of growing poverty, indicates the dangers the state is up against. How the army contains the threat is yet to be seen, considering the rising tides of national insecurity. Robbery, kidnapping, banditry are consequences of socio-economic hardship. To meet the security needs of the people, the concept of security should recognize social, economic, cultural, and environmental factors. By this comprehensive approach, the effect of unemployment, poverty, corruption, and poor education are recognized as threats to national security. When jobs are created, young persons go to work, they exert themselves and become innovative and solve the problems of society as crime rate falls. A secure state preserves the well-being of the people and advances their prosperity. Is that what Buhari is giving us? Is that what Sheyi Makinde has given us in Oyo State? Security and prosperity of the people? The radio man is here. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I'll be back after this break.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
When we say the new Maltina pineapple and vanilla taste like adventure, here's what we mean. You kit up like an action hero. Check yourself out in the mirror. And then, in slow-mo, you grab a chilled bottle of Maltina pineapple or Maltina vanilla and enjoy the tastespiration.
Own the flavor with the new Maltina Vanilla Pineapple All Classic and let the tastespiration fill you. Maltina, share happiness.
OneXBet don't land with big ogbonge odds and sharp cash out method. You will like sports. This now your big opportunity to make better money on top all your bets. Wey be bigger win. My Naija people, I beg, make una no sleep on this one. Make you rush now. Go visit our website on onexbet.ng. No forget to use the promo code BETNG and you go get 200% bonus on your first deposit. OneXBet, bet wey dey for everybody.
tí àjọ Search for Common Ground ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìrànwọ́ owó láti ọwọ́ àjọ European Union.
bí ẹ kò bá ra àwọn ohun èlò oúnjẹ yẹn máa kó àwọn ọmọ mi máa sì padà sílùú ńlá.
kí ni àwa ṣẹlẹ̀ síṣẹ́ onídìrí rẹ.
olùkọ́ àgbà ọkùnrin yìí ni ó jí agolo gàrí kan lọ́dọ̀ yẹn Elisa.
kí wọ́n ní ìdí tí ẹ ṣe fẹ́ sun láàyè nítorí agolo gàrí kan àbí.
eré aládùn orí rédíò yìí àwarawa yóò máa wá sétí ìgbọ́ yín.
ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday.
láago 8 alẹ́.
lórí ìkànnì yìí Splash 105.5 FM.
ẹ kú ojúlọ́nà.
àwarawa là ń tọ́jú ara wa.
For area, then they call me Baba 22. If you look my JC, number 22. My keke plate number encore 22. My house number, of course. I decag for number 22. Walele. But you sabi wetin really make them they call me Baba 22? Now because I dey groove 22 times bonus on top every recharge.
Yes, so if you don't take when you use your glow line, reactivate now, make you begin enjoy your own Ogbonge 22 times bonus on top every recharge. It dey pay to reactivate your glow line.
Glow Unlimited.
Babes, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Ojere. See, now I'm just tired, my friend. I'm thinking of how we get to the market to buy food stuff and provision again. See, it's a big problem for me.
Are you really serious? Let me tell you your Food Locker. A place where you can get all your food stuff and groceries affordably and without stress. In fact, you can sit at home, in your office, anywhere and order everything you need at www.foodlocker.com.ng and they will deliver right at your doorstep. They have yams, gari, meat, crayfish, oil, provisions, even pap ogi. Let me switch your belly safe. Their prices are so affordable and very comparable with market prices. You will even get farm fresh vegetables, chicken and fruits, and they also have continental products.
Please stop giving yourself problems. Just go to www.foodlocker.com.ng or download the Food Locker mobile app from Google Play Store and shop. They are headquartered in Ibadan and they deliver across many states. This is good news. Thank you very much, my friend. You are a lifesaver. www.foodlocker.com.ng is the answer.
For further details, call 0903 178 7037. Food Locker. All your foodstuff and groceries in one place.
Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ nípasẹ̀ ìròyìn BBC ní Yorùbá. Nítorí kí o tó lè tayọ, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n. Ní ìmísí pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ibi àti káàkiri àgbáyé. Nígbà tí o bá ní ìmọ̀ nípa ohun tó ń lọ ní àgbáyé, o lè ṣe ohunkóhun. Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ. Wá BBC News Yorùbá kàn.
If only we could show you on radio our stylish new look.
Amstel Malta.
But since we can't, go to the nearest store to pick up some Amstel Malta. And for Team Fit fans, try the new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. New look Amstel Malta.
And new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. So good for you.
Amstel Malta. Be your best.
1960 bets don't return with big FECO as they don't arrange new management. They don't come back better and stronger. Then they pay commission to their agents' bank accounts and winnings to their customers. Sharply. No delay. You fit do football or virtual games plus live bet jackpot for inside 1960 bets. Visit their website on top www.1960bets.com. 1960 bets. Play and win.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Queues resurface in Lagos, Abuja, others as fuel surge for over 200 naira per litre. You'll find that headline on the front page of the Saturday Punch. Controversy. NSA claims $1 billion arms funds missing. Recants under pressure. With the riders, ex-service chiefs may face probe as reps vow to investigate allegation. I was quoted out of context. Munguno speaks. Buratai orders didn't steal funds that is coming from a lawyer. Governors, frontline workers get COVID-19 jabs in Lagos, Ogun. Delta orders. Governors, frontline workers get COVID-19 jabs in Lagos, Ogun, Delta, orders. Governors to meet labor leaders on minimum wage, Tambuwa speaks. Wakili's return will ignite fresh attacks in Oyo villages. Victims speak. You also find on the front page of the Punch, 42 billion naira debt. Telcos begin disconnection of banks and other services on Monday. Akpabio won't lose senatorial poll if he did well as governor. That's Wike speaking. On the front page of the Saturday Tribune, arms procurement, billions spent, no weapons seen. That's coming from the National Security Advisor. No money is missing. Weapons being delivered. That's coming from the presidency. Munguno's allegation shocking. A bombshell. You know, one thing about weapons, a country wants so much weapons, yet it cannot produce. You discover that when Nigeria spends a lot of money on weapons, why not start producing weapons because you need them? Why is Nigeria not economically advanced? Why? Why are other countries advancing and many African states are stagnated? Why? Why is leadership similar in many African states? What is it about Africa, the social structures of Africa? Have you asked that question? How did China, through its civilization, rose, and now has taken off and cannot fall again? Or can it? How did Singapore learn the lessons of development? So I recommend a book to you, From Third Word to First Word, The Story of Lee Kuan Yew. You'll see how to build a country. It's not magic. It's not magic. It's about will. It's about being fascinated by good ideas. Do you see what our governors call development here? And when they do it, they celebrate themselves so much. You see, Nigerian states are suffering from leadership of the past, leadership that live in the past. Can you see our roads? If you want to know how if a country is poor, look at its public transport system. That tells you the story of poverty. Look at Lagos. Lagos is a slum. A whole Lagos. That's Lagos. Lagos does not have a fast train. That is Lagos for you. Look at Ibadan. Look at the Micra. Look at the buses. Look at the chaos in Songo in the morning, in the evening. Look at Challenge. No matter the construction, once a society is not organized, no matter the constructions will add to the slum. How do you know when a society is organized? You know, you see the way they park their cars. And what we don't require billions to do, we don't do them. It's when we require billions to award contracts. Those are the ones we pay attention to. You hardly find an organized state in Nigeria where people are organized, where there are very good parks, where you see drivers drive with care. You hardly find it. Chaos everywhere. And when you have such chaos, you also begin to have violence. That is why you see in most chaotic areas, there is violence. Places like Bere, if a state is chaotic, the way they have their cars, their transport system, it will be violent. So your state is poor. Your state is poor. No massive modernization project in your state since the days of Awolowo and Akintola. All you have is one small project, mega park. They will build a mega park. Within 1 year, the mega park becomes another slum. You cannot maintain projects. Ibadan is supposed to be the intellectual capital of Africa, the home of publishing, the home of books, the home of research. Ibadan should make huge amount of money from intelligence, from knowledge, from selling knowledge. Ibadan can publish for the world, if not the world, for West Africa. The center of knowledge, the home of media. Ibadan is endowed. But Ibadan has not been able to live up to expectation due to poor leadership over the years. That is why the state is poor. Without federal allocation, the state cannot survive because it's not tapping into its potentials. Look at Okyogo, look at Agric. You hear governors screaming billions into Agric. Look at Okyogo. Subsistence agriculture in the 21st century. How do you feed yourself? Subsistence. See our farmers struggling, using cutlass, no much. We can't fabricate. What is the essence of loud tech? Why did we build the Polytechnic Ibadan? We cannot fabricate simple farm implements that our farmers will use, produce more, and food will be cheap. There will no longer be hunger in the town. Hey, wake up your leadership. They are all sleeping. Wake them up. Sing for them. Cry for them when you see them. They need to wake up. There's so much poverty everywhere. Even those who think they are rich, those the so-called middle class, has become poor. You see people driving cars, they don't have 500 naira in their pockets. The so-called middle class has become poor. They can't pay their children's school fees. So you now have a single minority at that top. Because of the little money they control, they now begin to use wealth as the benchmark for leadership. So therefore, he goes to America, comes back after 5 years with some billions, automatically he becomes a leader. And the people grow poorer. That is not to say those who are rich cannot be great leaders. Okay, the lines are open. 080-915-51055. 080-569-98678. 070-694-93000. Hello. Good morning.
Edmund.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. My name is S.V. Abodumi from Akwete.
Good to hear your voice.
Yeah. You know, our problem in Nigeria is insincerity. We are not sincere. At the top, you can imagine people complaining that we want to spend so money on weapons. We want to spend. Is it about weapons alone? What about the infiltration of these bandits and Boko Haram into government and politics and into everything? So, the moment the government is not ready to purge the military and fish out those who compromise in the military, there is no amount of weapon that will save the situation. We have seen situations where ordinary dengue, people use it to defeat those who are carrying AK-47. It happened in Dakufo some years back, when police were not able to remove their uniform again at the end of the battle. It happened in so many places. So the moment the government is not sincere about fighting this war, weapons cannot save us. Thank you.
Thank you for calling the radio station. Father Anthony Akiwale says there cannot be security where states can make laws but have no means of enforcing them. State police, local government police, he calls for. Okay. Are you there? Hello. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Edmund, my name is Abiodun. I'm calling from Oluyole.
I'm happy to hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm one of your friends long time ago, Abiodun from Canada.
Good to hear you.
Yeah. What I want to say is that you, as one of the voice that people listen to, I think we need to start doing something differently in this country. I think we need to start blaming ourselves and stop blaming the government. We are the government. People that represent us, they came from us. When we do something, when we don't have a power that was wrong, when we have a power, we will do the same thing. That is going to be worse than what we are doing presently. To your point, we just need a mindset change within our people. People need to start taking responsibility. I drove along Oluyole. You will expect people that live in that kind of area to be the people that actually abide to the law. Before you realize, within 5 minutes, when you have a slow-moving traffic, this is not a stagnant traffic. People start bringing the car from left to right, and they start causing disruption. Before you know it, everything gets blocked. That is indiscipline. People need to start with discipline. We need to stop blaming government. We need to know we are the one actually contributing to the downfall of this country. It's a shame on us that we are still at this level in Nigeria. Please start talking about how can we actually change our people orientation. We need to take responsibility as individuals and a citizen of a country. We should stop blaming the government. I don't know government, but I know the government represents us. They are our brother, our sister, people from us. So when we change, the government will change. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I've heard people say, Edmond, you need to speak more. You need to say more. We need to change the minds of our people. I agree. But there's more to changing the mindset of our people. In fact, the most potent way is through education. Take your time. Go and read through Chinese syllables for primary school, for secondary school, for their university system. If you go through the syllabus, you see it is the Chinese way that is taught in the syllabus. You know, I was able to do it with free education. That is how you change the mindset of a nation. Our education system is too porous. There are no ideals. Our children don't come out of secondary schools with certain ideals of nationhood. It's just to go and learn 1 + 1 1. There's more to it. That is when you will indoctrinate your children in the codes of nation building. It's through the education system. Then the church, the mosque are also powerful. But for you to penetrate those platforms, you must produce great leadership. You need great leadership. Okay, look at the case he talked about Oluyole Estate. It annoys me because I live around that axis. You know, Oluyole Estate have just one lane. Any little traffic, you see educated people, big people, leaving their lanes, meandering through the other lanes before you know everywhere is blocked. So when you live in a chaotic state, education doesn't matter anymore. People begin to behave alike. Because at the point you look stupid when you remain on the same queue and you see everybody's moving. Wow. You know, such is the nature of chaotic states. If the state was functional, that is why governments must also come in. If you did that, there should be sanction. If you know there is sanction, you won't dare. That is where the state comes in to create that environment for sanction. Look at everywhere, it's so chaotic. And you don't have officials that can sanction the people. When there is no sanction, there won't be development. Take note of that. Go and build all the interchanges everywhere in every junction. Once you don't apply sanctions, once you don't apply the law, you can't attain development. Once there is chaos, there will be no development. Because what chaos does is to sap the energy of the people. Imagine the time the boy in Mokola used to scream, Ojo, 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 Ojo. You can convert that energy into productive events because that's not productive. Why should he be screaming Ojo? When we can easily place a sign, say Ojo vehicles move to this direction. In that case, you have reduced the number of conductors in the park. And where do you take them to? You plan where to take them to. Like the Micra, I was asking myself, what will I do with these Micras if I have the chance to govern? What will I do with them? I've been touring some of the rural areas in your state in recent time. There's no development in our rural areas. No development. We are only talking about Ibadan. Go and see the rural areas. No development. And as far as development does not penetrate the rural areas, food will be expensive. We will not produce enough for industrialization. For there to be industrialization, you must produce enough. When there's enough corn, and we say, okay, let's convert them into cornflakes. We create jobs. The bottom line is that we need everybody, the individual, the government, everybody. All hands must be on deck, including Edmund Obilo. Let me assume that for all have sinned, and it's time to say enough of the sins. Let's move on. Let's be fine. Let's fly. Let's build our great country so that when we die happy. Hey, the radio man is here. It is Splash 105.5 FM. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Edmund.
Good morning.
This is Abe. I'm calling from Monia.
Good to hear your voice.
Yes, thank you. You see, we are where we were now because we have lost our historical background. We have forgotten everything about how we started. Now we are in a sort of quagmire. Now we are talking about Awolowo. Awolowo was not a magician in his days. He never used the federal funds to do the cocoa edifice we are talking about now. And many other people in the West. We are talking of Awolowo today. Now, among those people that are calling Awolowo, the so-called warrior now, what legacy are they leaving behind? Will they leave behind? When tomorrow they used to come and say so person. The past years are not magicians. Where do we start from now? Politics have so much sort of destabilized the whole people that we have forgotten our historical background and things have fallen apart. Except with God, things will start coming up in Nigeria again. Because to me, whoever is saying Awolowo, and you're not making any impact in order to make an unwise history that will be told tomorrow, then you are saying nothing. So have a nice day, my dear brother.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. Hello. On the front page of The Guardian, queues persist despite reversal. Vanguard says on its front page, herdsmen chase Nigerians into Benin Republic. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Edmund.
Good morning. Good to hear your voice again.
Yeah, you see, some of the reasons we cannot progress as a nation is what is now playing out in the presidency. Lack of coordination and synergy among the tenants of Mr. President. We do not get there is no ammunition. Not that Mr. President has voted much and reduced much for procurement of ammunition for our soldiers. Though they are now regarding that he was cut out of context. But let's say that. And now, Nobashew was saying no money is missing. This is not the first time we are seeing contradiction in what is coming out from the presidency. And the question is, if in the presidency, there is no coordination and synergy about how the policy program of the president will be implemented, how can you be sure that they can deliver or develop the country as a people? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alhaji Abdul Salam. It's your time to talk. What do you think? Let's banter. What do you think?
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
This is Olashupo JK from Akubo.
Olashupo JK.
Longest Edmund Obilo.
I'm happy to hear your voice.
It's so hard nowadays to get through to your program.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry.
No problem. To have my point, you have said it. We don't have these visionary leaders. The leaders we have, their visions is just their pockets. And that is why when you have a few who control the economy of the state, you continue to have this kind of a problem. Well, when you have such character who can boast openly that they are richer than the state, and you continue to have issues like this, and that is the problem. It's not as if in reality we are that poor, but we have our resources in the hands of the few. And these few, they are not our leaders. They claim to be so. And that's my point. Good morning, Obilo.
Thank you, J.K. Olashupon. Recently I was at an event and I queried a particular concept. I interpreted the concept as some activists glorifying poverty in the name of activism. It has achieved a dimension that if you are an activist to a certain extent, you must be poor. I'm making the point. The activism does not mean poverty. The activist does not necessarily have to be poor. We can create a society where everyone will be rich. That is not to say there won't be billionaires, but there will be a minimum standard of living. Minimum. You should have a house. You should be able to have clothing. You should be able to eat. You should be able to send every child to school. Every child. Not one remaining. Every child must go to school. That's the minimum standard. I don't have problems with preacher men flying jets. In fact, I'm looking forward to a Nigeria where we'll be able to develop the science to build jets. Let the preacher men come buy the jets. But we are building the jets for our pastors, for our imams. If they want to fly private jet, let them fly it. And if you have the money, go and buy it. That's why we are developing science. Some people will enjoy science. In the days to come, we want to build jets, go to the moon. We want to kiss the sun. We can do it. We want to build a black African nation that will rival the best in the world. We can. And we cannot do that with mediocre leadership. With the little we have, we can achieve a lot. Femi Ogbontiba is on State Affairs. Good to have you this morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me.
The title of your book is interesting. Glory of the Yoruba Race. Yes. Past, present, and the future. Challenges of the 21st century. You captured so many details in the book. What inspired you?
Sometimes, early 1990, I read an article, a full-page article, in the defunct Daily Times, written by one of the emirs in the north, and talking about the glory of a particular ethnic group over there. And after reading the whole thing, I said, if this is all you could say was their own glory to showcase to the world, we have something better in this part of the country. So that was my immediate challenge. That okay, I can also do something to showcase to the world something better than what he had said. That was my first challenge. Then secondly, I looked at the Yoruba race as a whole, and I felt except something is done, many people will not appreciate what had happened in the past. They will not know what is happening now, and they might not be thinking proactively what will happen in the future.
Basically, you are arguing that the Yoruba race has not lived up to expectation at the moment.
Of course, yes. Yes, we have not. We have not. Based on what had been done in the past, we ought to have gone very far than where we are today. That's the truth.
When you see cities like Dubai, new cities like Abu Dhabi, new cities built in recent time, does it provoke you when you hear our governors saying they are doing well?
It is very, I would say it is interesting hearing them saying they are doing well. Where you bring people together to come and clap because you are commissioning a road, which naturally it is the duty of government to do. I wouldn't know how many people that Awolowo brought together to clap for him when he built several roads all over the place, when he went ahead and put in place Cocoa House and the university and so on and so forth. How many people did he gather? He saw all those things as normal responsibilities of government, of a good government, and which he did. We also recall Bodija Housing Estate as part of what he did, the Liberty Stadium, now called after him, and so on and so forth. If we had gotten people like him, by now we should be talking about new cities. We should be talking about new cities, at least in this part of the country, if not the entire country.
New cities?
Yes, it's possible.
You know, I was dreaming about new cities yesterday.
It is possible.
It is possible.
I have gone to some very, very far places within Ibadan, and I was surprised that it is not going to be possible for any Olubadan, no matter how young he might be, to know some of those places. And I was wondering, what will prevent a government from developing those places? Extreme end of the extreme. I mean, put in place infrastructure, tell some of the banks to move in there, let there be new housing estates. Many people will want to get out of Ring Road.
You know, I was going through what countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, even China, what they do when they are building new cities. Let's give an example of a place like Elebu. Elebu is supposed to be an example of a new city, opening up new areas. In that case, you should open up the roads, bring in electricity,
yes.
Even before people begin to build.
Of course.
You already have the facilities.
The drainage.
But go to Elebu now. It's already a slum.
I think to some extent, a greater part of Elebu is like Jankara. It's like Jankara Market in Lagos. Yes. And that was not what the place was meant to be.
We don't plan.
How would we plan? We don't have planners any longer. That's the problem.
Can you see the way we even build in recent time, the way they build houses in new areas?
We don't have planners any longer. So how would we plan? May I shock you, sir? When you talk to most of the mechanics around now, they will tell you they don't have people learning. They don't have apprentices any longer. And that is true. And I begin to wonder what will happen in 5 years' time when these people will have probably been 70-year-old. A government that is planning would have put in place technical colleges, probably one in every local government, that will produce the technical manpower that we need. So we don't have planners. We don't have planners.
You estimated Yoruba population to be over 143 million at the time you wrote this book.
At that time, yes.
How did you get that figure?
Oh, I was able to collate the figures, the population figure, the census figure in Nigeria, added to the size of the Yorubas we have in places like Benin Republic, places like Togo, places like Ghana. We have Yorubas there. In places like Brazil, we have Yorubas there.
Trinidad and Tobago.
In fact, I was shocked when I was in Ghana. There was a whole compound in Accra that they called the Yoruba compound there. They bear Yoruba names up to now, though they are Ghanaians, but they bear Yoruba names. They bear Yoruba names.
After this break, I want you to tell me about Agbajo concept. I'm discussing with Femi Ogbontiba. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
Ó yá gbogbo èèyàn màmá bàbá ẹni tó tóbi ẹni tẹ́rẹ́ tàbí rùmùrùmù ṣé ìṣẹ́gun mẹ́fà ní kùn tiẹ̀ tàbí ẹyọ kọ́bọ̀rọ̀ gidi gbogbo yín la pè gbogbo ọ̀gá ọ̀rẹ́ bàbá kẹ́kẹ́ ṣe ìdárayá ẹ̀dùn ẹ̀yẹ ìṣẹ́ṣẹ́ ti di. ẹ jẹ́ lọ gbogbo èèyàn la pèsè ìdárayá pẹ̀lú ohun tó lè fọ́kàn àtàrà lókun nínú ìdíje 3 Crowns Make Fitness Challenge amárata kébé ọlọ́gbọ̀n ọjọ́ forúkọsílẹ̀ lónìí ní www.femininlounge.com/competition.
Ẹ̀yin tèmi ó dẹ̀ rọrùn fún mi láti máa ṣorin fún yín ṣùgbọ́n ṣé mo kọ́ tó tún rọrùn fún mi jù láti ṣe àsopọ̀ NIN mi àti ẹ̀ka ìpè Glo mi mo lè mú ẹ̀rọ ìpè mi kí n sì tẹ *109*NIN# tàbí kí n pe 109 lórí ẹ̀ka ìpè Glo mi kí n sì tẹ̀lé àwọn ìfilọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ tí kò bá wù mí láti pè mo lè tẹ àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ NIN mi sí 109 mo lè kàn sórí glowworld.com/NIN pẹ̀lú íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì ayárabíàṣá mi tí kò bá sún mi tí ò rẹ̀ mí mo lè yà ní ẹ̀ka Glo World tó súnmọ́ mi jù tó bá dẹ̀ ti gbàgbé NIN rẹ̀ tẹ *346# láti rí gbà padà ẹlòmíì lè béèrè wípé tí n bá ní NIN kọ̀ kò burú Glo jẹ́ igi lẹ́yìn ọgbà ẹ̀ nítorí o lè yan fandawọ èyíkéyìí Glo World tó súnmọ́ ẹ jù kó sì ṣe forúkọsílẹ̀ ìrọ̀rùn ló bá dé má jẹ́ kán já ẹ̀ka ìpè Glo rẹ o nítorí àwọn àǹfààní tó pọ̀ sí ìpè àti dátà látọwọ́ Glo àti so NIN rẹ pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ka Glo rẹ ó rọrùn gidi kò léwu ọ̀fẹ́ ni kò sì ní wàhálà rárá.
Glo Unlimited.
If only we could show you on radio our stylish new look. Amstel Malta. But since we can't, go to the nearest store to pick up some Amstel Malta. And for Team Fit Fam, try the new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. New look Amstel Malta.
And new Amstel Malta Ultra with no added sugar. So good for you.
Amstel Malta. Be your best.
Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ nípasẹ̀ ìròyìn BBC ní Yorùbá. Nítorí kí o tó lè tayọ, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n. Ní ìmísí pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ibi àti káàkiri àgbáyé. Nígbà tí o bá ní ìmọ̀ nípa ohun tó ń lọ ní àgbáyé, o lè ṣe ohunkóhun. Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ. Wá BBC News Yorùbá kàn.
Do you know you can study in Hungary and Cyprus with ease?
Yes, the representative of Istvan University in Hungary and European University of Levsk in North Cyprus are at your beck and call here in Ibadan, Nigeria.
These schools are in partnership with the Edu Consort of Ruscon Travels and Tours Limited. And over the years, several students have gained admission and visa to study and get their degree by leveraging on this partnership. Ruscon Travels and Tours Limited is your link to study in Istvan University in Hungary and North Cyprus European University of Levsk.
Two world-class universities with campuses located in a serene and friendly environment. You pay zero deposit and service charge until your visa is secured. For more inquiries, call 0816-932-9152. Again, 0816-932-9152.
Our office is at number 53 MKO Abiola Way, Ajegbe Bus Stop, Ring Road, Ibadan, Oyo State. On Facebook and Instagram at Ruscon Travels NG. Ruscon Travels and Tours. All right, let's go to Hungary and Cyprus for qualitative education.
When we say the new Maltina pineapple and vanilla taste like adventure, here's what we mean. You'll kit up like an action hero. Check yourself out in the mirror. And then, in slow-mo, you grab a chilled bottle of Maltina pineapple or Maltina vanilla and enjoy the taste-spiration.
Own the flavor with the new Maltina Vanilla Pineapple or Classic and let the taste-spiration fill you. Maltina. Share happiness.
Àwarawa eré aládùn orí rédíò tí àjọ Search for Common Ground ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìrànwọ́ owó láti ọwọ́ àjọ European Union.
Bí ẹ kò bá ra àwọn ohun èlò oúnjẹ yẹn máa kó àwọn ọmọ mi máa sì padà sílùú ńlá.
Kí ni àwa ṣẹlẹ̀ síṣẹ́ onídìrí rẹ?
Olùkọ́ àgbà ọkùnrin yìí ni ó jí agolo gàrí kan lọ́dọ̀ ìyá Elisa.
Kí wá nìdí tí ẹ ṣe fẹ́ sun láàyè nítorí agolo gàrí kan àbí?
eré aládùn orí rédíò yìí àwa ara wa yóò máa wá sétí ìgbọ́ yín.
ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìṣẹ́gun Tuesday.
láago 8 alẹ́.
lórí ìkànnì yìí Splash 105.5 FM.
ẹ kú ojú lọ́nà.
àwa ara wa là ń tọ́jú ara wa.
ó yá gbogbo èèyàn pẹ̀lú oríṣiríṣi ara yín ẹ̀ mú ohunkóhun tọ́wọ́ yín bá bà ìbájọmọ́rogùn síbi onírin àní ohunkóhun ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣeré ìdárayá ọ̀pá arúgbó lọ́wọ́ tiẹ̀ bá ìyẹn náà bàjẹ́ kò sí gírì ẹ dúró ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré sẹ́tì ìdí ẹ̀mú náà. ó yá ẹjọ́ bọ́dì gbogbo èèyàn la pèsè eré ìdárayá afọkàn àtàrà lókun nínú ìdíje 3 crowns make fitness challenge amárata kébé ọlọ́gbọ̀n ọjọ́ forúkọsílẹ̀ lónìí ní www.femininelounge.com/competition.
3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
A fully furnished, nice and comfortable hostel accommodation in University of Ibadan, or a place for seminars and executive trainings at the same venue? You do not have to worry. Adebayo Akonde Hall suits your lodging needs and provides you a home away from home. Adebayo Akonde Hall is a 4-star hostel built in a serene environment with constant supply of electricity. It has fully furnished rooms that gives you great comfort at an affordable price. Adebayo Akonde Hall is located at Ajibode Extension, University of Ibadan. To make reservations, visit www.adebayohall.com or call the numbers 0805-699-8718, 0805-699-8719, 0805-699-8720. Adebayo Akonde Hall. Built for comfort. Built for you.
Splash FM 105.5.
Daganan kilo betening kom lo moham. Di beta maso sanalom. Muasa benge kaputo.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
I'm discussing with the author of the book, Glory of the Yoruba Race. I'm talking about Femi Ogbontiba. In the preface of the book, he says, in examining the path to greater tomorrow, this book brings to bear on the Yorubas the delicate possibility of an unconscious work into local slavery. What do you mean by local slavery?
Oh, I mean domination.
By?
Other ethnic groups.
It says it therefore emphasizes that survivability in the next millennium, that is in the year 2000. We wrote this book in 1997. Next millennium, we have done about 21 years. Oh, the next millennium we are all waiting for.
That's true.
We remain poor. He's saying that survival rests on practical demonstration of the Agbajo war concept. Tell me more.
Agbajo war concept is about unity, basically about unity, also being our brother's keeper, coming to support each other, and ensuring that the collectivity of the Yoruba vision, of the Yoruba race.
Is there a Yoruba vision?
Yes, there is.
The one propounded by who?
Oh, propounded by Awolowo in his days.
And you said in this book he was the first elected Yoruba leader.
Of course he was.
How?
He was. He was because there was a conference in Ibadan. And all prominent people, well, so to say, prominent people, politicians, businessmen, and so on and so forth, gathered. And they said the purpose was to have someone who could speak for the entire Yoruba people. At the end of the day, he was elected.
Are you talking about the meeting at the Western Hall in
Yes, in Western
1966?
Yes. When he was elected, and that was the first time ever that a single person will be accepted by almost all the Yorubas as being their leader.
The only time ever.
The only time ever. Yes, the only time ever.
Will that time come again?
It's difficult, but it's not impossible.
In chapter 13 of the book, you said realizing that no one single solution can bring Nigeria to Canaan, and given the fact that the country has rightly been divided into its 6 natural geopolitical zones, it is necessary to proceed from this bold step to the harmonization of the collective opinion of each of the zones to ensure the longevity of the Nigerian Union. You are interested in the Nigerian Union?
Yes, as long as it will be based on true federalism.
If not?
If not, it does not appear to me that there is a future.
How does the Yoruba nation feature in this Nigeria of your dream?
Well, to the extent that each section is allowed to manifest, to its fullest capacity, without necessarily going cap in hand to beg for money somewhere in Abuja or somewhere anywhere, where we have derivative principle. These are things that are very, very important, and you have financial autonomy, granted to each section, just like what we used to have in the days of the regions.
So you want regions?
Oh, absolutely.
This time 6 regions?
6 regions.
The Yoruba region?
Yes.
Do you have ideas of the states you have there? Do you want to go and take Yorubas from Kwara?
Oh, if they intend to come, they are welcome.
But won't that lead to another war?
No, it won't. You see, we have seen developments in many countries before, and there were no wars. There were no wars. Some are still together. Some have gone their separate ways. There were no wars.
But today,
everything cannot be war. No.
Today, the call for an Oodua state is rising. The fight for a Biafran state is rising.
All those calls are consequences of perceived injustices all over the place. Ordinarily, there should have been no cause for that. Ordinarily, no.
When should this redefinition take place? How soon can Nigeria wait?
I think it is becoming more serious now, looking at the prevailing situation everywhere. People are not really too happy because of economic downturn. And I think it's right time for our leaders to sit down, if they will ever do, and try to reorganize and restructure and rejig the whole system. It's better.
Who are our leaders? Are you one of them? When we say leaders, are we not giving too much responsibility to those who cannot deliver?
Well, it seems so, but in Nigerian context, no one will want to recognize you as a leader if you are not the type that will give them money, that they'll come to your house and feed, and so on and so forth. They will not recognize you. That's just the truth.
Don't you think that's a bad judgment of who a Nigerian is?
Of course, it has always been.
I'm beginning to feel those who complain that Nigerians will not recognize you unless you give them money. I'm beginning to feel they are the ones that don't have the capacity for great leadership. But if you have the capacity, people will follow you.
But it will interest you to know that even people like Ganifa-Emi in his days, he was still assisting so many people. That was why several, younger ones then regarded him as a leader. Mm-hmm. He was paying school fees of several others. He was doing so many things for so many people, taking care of their welfare.
He did not fail as a leader. He just did not emerge as a political leader.
He didn't. Obviously, he didn't. Or he didn't. If there were to be an independent candidacy, he would have won election.
Are you sure?
Yes, he would have won election.
But he ran for presidency under NCP.
If I were in a position to advise him, then I would tell him not to have done that.
Don't you think some of our activists don't know how to play politics?
Well, because they assume too much. They assume too much.
Because I've been wondering, why did Gani not win? Why did Falana not win in Ekiti? Why did Aborishade not win in Oyo?
The system will never allow them to win.
But the system that throws others up, what makes that system special?
The corrupt nature of the system will throw up corrupt people too.
Then great leaders will emerge and bring down the corrupt system.
It is not going to be so easy.
It's never easy.
Well, I agree with you.
But
anyway.
I wait for that great leader to emerge. Look, I've seen it in other parts of the world.
Well, it will take time.
Sometimes he even emerges from the so-called bad leaders.
Well, I want to say this with emphasis. The type of conglomeration we have that we call Nigeria today makes it very, very difficult. We have someone would think, for example, that the poverty and whatever misery is passing through is divinely ordained. And another person is challenging that same system. And he sees you as a troublemaker. What are you challenging the system for? So that's part of the process.
But great leaders are those who challenge the system.
I agree absolutely with you.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I agree. Muhammad, yes, I agree with you. But do we have such people any longer? And if we look, I sat down one day and I was calculating how many of these people, I was counting how many of these agitators, so to say, had come and gone. And I begin to wonder, the few remaining ones we have today, they are aging. So what is going to happen in the next 5 years?
Perhaps they need to change tactics.
Well,
their old system is not working.
Maybe, but it's going to be very, very difficult.
Are you sure?
Yes, in the system we have now, it's going to be very, very... They are, I want to assume that they are almost overwhelmed.
What about if I told you to watch out?
Well, I will.
That the beautiful ones are born already.
They are born, but will they be allowed to manifest?
Because they are beautiful, they will manifest.
Well, I pray so.
I can see them, they are coming.
I pray so.
They are here.
Well, God will help them.
Will you review your book for them to read?
Oh, certainly. I plan to do that in the next couple of months.
What does it take to write?
It takes the grace of God and also inspiration. It takes a lot of courage.
I learned it's very hard to read. Is that true?
For lazy people, yes.
Do we have a lot of lazy people around?
We have too many lazy people around.
Because I discovered the book economy is very poor.
We have too many lazy people around. That's why someone will say that you want to catch an African person, just put money in a book and give it to him. He will never read. And he wouldn't know there's money in the book. He will know.
And those who don't read don't grow.
They can never grow.
They can't produce great leaders.
A reader is a leader.
Because reading makes you a great thinker.
Of course, a great thinker. And you'll be able to do a lot of things.
Those who think well become innovative.
You will be on top. Always.
Awolowo was a great thinker.
Oh, he was on top. He is still on top. That's just the truth of the matter.
You know, when I read some of his books, I smile. He was a brilliant man.
Oh, that was a man who, as far back as 1979, was projecting what Nigeria would do in 1999.
He saw the future.
He saw the future.
He knew how to create it.
For the future, while other politicians were just carousing with women of easy virtues in clubs.
I was reading his lecture he delivered in Ghana, the need for an ideological reappraisal.
I think that was a Kwame Nkrumah memorial lecture.
Classic. Oh. How come we don't have them around anymore?
Well, we wouldn't, because what people pursue these days are quite different. Everybody wants to be rich.
And that's why we are poor.
Oh, we will continue.
And we'll kill ourselves.
And sure, until one day. Maybe one day. Maybe.
The bandits are getting closer to the southwest.
Well, I want to believe that the people in charge here should know what to do.
They've taken some girls in Kaduna.
I want to believe the people here should know what to do.
It's getting closer.
Very, very. In fact, the rate at which it's getting closer is very threatening.
And we'll close down our schools.
Well, there was a suggestion one time that some of these people using Okadas and the rest, they should be registered. And they should be identified. And they should be guaranteed. You can't just come in here and start doing just anything. But who is going to implement that?
Who should be reading your book?
Who should be reading?
Yes.
People who want to be great.
The title of the book is Glory of the Yoruba Race, Past, Present, and Future, Challenges of the 21st Century. I recommend it to you. But I know you can hardly find this book to buy.
Well, as at the time of his publication, I was privileged to have met the late Pa Layonde, who actually took me to Remonzad. I didn't know then that Remonzad understood Yoruba very well. I didn't. Until when we got to him and he started speaking Yoruba, I said, he looked at me and said, young man, I've been here for so long, and I'm interested in your book. He bought almost 3/4 of the books there, and he circulated to all the universities, polytechnics, gave a copy to each of them in their libraries, colleges of education. So he was the one that actually bought virtually everything. And the late Honor of Ife also bought almost the remaining copies. So,
wow.
Yes.
Now, do you miss journalism?
Not really.
Not really? Not really. But I thought a journalist, once a journalist, always a journalist.
Always a journalist, but when you look at the way journalism is being practiced now, I think probably one has taken a good decision to have left at that time.
What's wrong with the way it's being practiced now?
Oh, because there's no truth. There's no truth.
Has there ever been truth?
Well, at least to some extent in those days, yes.
You know, I hear this thing that, you are a journalist, you must stand on the side of truth. Is that true?
That's true. You must stand on the side of truth, on the side of the people.
Is journalism not about opinion? Must you be on the side of the people? As a journalist, you have a right to choose on the side you want to belong.
Yes, but in most times, the side of the people, at least, is the side of the truth.
Yes, but that is a matter of choice. You can decide to belong to a governor. It's your right as a journalist.
But you will not be serving the people.
Are there no people on the side of the governor?
They should be, but they've always been.
Because I said I'm going to question that phrase. Journalists must stand on the side of the people. The governor has his people. And if a journalist is with the governor, he's also with the people.
I think basically the point is that if a governor is doing well on the side of the people, pursuing populist policies, welfareist policies, certainly people will be on his side.
You see,
and any journalist on his side is okay.
You did your journalism mostly with the Tribune.
Of course.
The journalists that worked for the Tribune worked for Awolowo.
You mean the ones...
Because when Awolowo was alive.
Yes.
The Tribune was his mouthpiece.
Yes, they worked for him because there was a philosophy that the paper pursued. And it was a philosophy of the people. And there was Akintola who was okay with his own paper, and the journalists that worked for that paper worked for him. Well, I want to say with due respect to him that the philosophies differ.
It's about opinion. The point I'm trying to make is that a journalist has a right to stake.
Yes. So
when you say the people...
It's a free
person. Is relative.
Yes, it's a free man. He has a right to choose wherever side he wants to be. But naturally, for a paper like Tribune in those days, the truth of the matter is that you just have to be on the side of the people.
Was it the people really?
Yes, the people then.
You had divided people in the Southwest.
Well,
so it depends on the side you belong.
I agree with you.
So leave the journalist alone. Let him belong to whatever side he wants to belong.
But when the people are angry, he may not be safe.
The people?
Yes, the people.
That he will pay for his action.
Okay, well, I agree with you then.
It's not just about the journalist. We are all meant to pay for our action.
I agree with you then. If it is about paying for his action, well, I agree with you.
Because I hear you say a journalist must be an angel. It's not true. There's no way it was defined that a journalist must be an angel.
He needs not be an angel, but he must be honest and be truthful and be on the side of the people.
Honesty and truthfulness is the virtues of human beings, not just of the journalist.
I agree with you, but a journalist is supposed to. Because people look at him as someone who will come forward and tell them the truth as it is, raw.
He damns the consequence.
Yes.
He goes home and begins to run for his safety.
And
you are hailing him there, he has said it.
It's because of the nature of our society. That's why speaking the truth is a problem.
Speak the truth and die.
It's a problem here. It's a big problem here.
Is it? It's not a problem.
It's a problem.
Say it, nothing happens.
I remember there was a time, one of your programs, and you were interviewing one of the former staff here who had gone abroad. And you asked her, I remember you asked her why she left, and she was, in parable, she was telling us, the listeners, why she had to run away for her life.
There's a reason for you to run in Nigeria. Doctors are running.
Everybody's running. But
Everybody's running.
But we will not have to empty the country.
No, we are going nowhere. I'm here.
Yeah, we won't empty the country. That's why people are calling for restructuring, and we just have to restructure. We have very limited option.
Thank you, Femi Ogbontiba.
It's a pleasure being with you.
Pastor Femi Ogbontiba.
Thank you so much, sir.
Of the Redeemed Church.
Thank you so much.
You worship God.
Yes.
Pray for us.
We'll do that.
All right. Thank you for featuring on State Affairs. I'll be back after this break. Edmund Obilo on State Affairs.
Yakanan kilo petening kom no moham. Di petamaso sanalom. Muasa benge kaputo.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
There's a day of feasting and a day of famine. Day of sadness and a day of joy. But you couldn't see in the day of feasting. Life is not just another daylight time. So your day arrived when you least expected. Fish out of water. So now you're wondering what's the matter. I remember you said it wouldn't happen to you. Now you're thinking how to start anew. A drowning man will catch and destroy. You had warned, but you wouldn't take heed. Everything in creation must obey a law. True
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Okay, let's take some phone calls. Who is a journalist to you? What should a journalist be to you? You know, I started that argument with Pastor Femi Ogbontiba. What's your opinion of a journalist? What are the responsibilities of a media man? Meanwhile, remember the program is about national security. Bandits there, kidnapping here, headsmen there. You wonder when peace will come. What do you think? Call the radio station 080-915-51055 and 080-569-98678. Those are the numbers to call to join the discussion this morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Sadui Modagbe.
I think relatively a journalist is a semi-human activist who defends the cause of the masses, regardless what it takes. And the president said that after the Kandara abduction, there shall not be any other one. So when we question that assertion, that if they have the capacity to actually protect the country, if some people thought that we were just being we are not quite fair with the Nigerian state, because it's no obvious that we are in control in terms of security. The country is at large. There's products of intelligence. So I don't know why the president was so assertive, and now we still have more. So pray that we get this right in this part of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Not too long ago, about 320 girls of government secondary school Jangabe in Talata, Mafara local government area of Zamfara state were kidnapped, and that's on the 26th of February 2021. They were taken away in high-loss vehicles and motorcycles. But the girls are back. The girls are back. What do you think? Is it getting closer? Hello, good morning. Is it getting closer? Not too long ago. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Edmund, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Jiruka on the line.
Jiruka on the line.
Yeah. You see, when we discuss the issue of Nigeria, there's a tendency for despotism to take over. Somebody once said, you can always tell us that it's as if Nigeria's situation is hopeless. As if this country is doomed. As well it's not doomed. I say a new hour we emerge. Let me give you that consolation. A new hour we emerge. Provided this present APC government doesn't crash Nigeria. And it's a big provided. Because the way the country is going, there's no certainty. You know when that the country will not crash under APC. You know when this iconic son of Yoruba land, your friend, what is his name now? The man I regard as the reincarnation of Rami. When he came on your program sometime in 2018, I said it is 1:45 for Nigeria. I remember calling that and saying, no, in my own clock, it is 11 p.m. But I think now I'm in the same page now with Femi Odumaki. It is 1:45 for Nigeria. And we need serious prayer for those who can pray for Nigeria. We need serious prayer so that APC will not crash Nigeria. That is on that level. I was happy to hear the VP speak yesterday at the convocation in Sokoto. I don't know whether I heard. He said Nigeria's unity has to be predicated on fairness, equity, and justice. I said, that is my man. That is what the leaders say. He said they must speak truth to power. All religious leaders, political leaders, they must speak truth to power. If you do not insist and speak out on equity, justice, and fairness. You are wasting your time talking about unity. And he received a very big ovation. I said, that is my man. Not many people knew I'm close to the vice president. I have 5 contact points with the vice president. He was my lecturer. I'm a student lecturer at the University of Lagos Law Faculty. He's a pastor in my church. He's a member of the MBA, and about 2 others which I want to see in the open. Many people criticized me when I was criticizing this government. Those ones they say, why don't you get an appointment? Why don't you get those and get an appointment? Don't you need money? I said I will never be part of this APC government because I know they are only heading for one direction. Nothing can ever come out of this APC government. But I'm happy that I had him speak the way he speaks yesterday. That means the man is ready for the presidency of Nigeria should he decide to contest in 2023. He's the most visible man to be president of Nigeria from the southwest now. Not from other, but certainly the most visible and credible man. I'm happy to hear him speak like that. That is the way, if whoever will transform Nigeria, that is the way his mind should work. Good morning.
Barrister Ijiruka has spoken. We'll be back after this break. Don't go away.
We're kicking some folks out of the market this season.
I tell you, okay, everyone else in this bed with me, they're losers.
We're the station that beats all the competition. And we'll prove it as soon as we hear any competition.
105.5 Splash.
Quick, charge at 240.
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Hello, Laura and James with BBC Minutes.
At least 3 more protesters have been killed by the security forces in Myanmar.
2 of them were shot while calling for the release of other demonstrators. The rallies are against last month's military overthrow of the government.
To Sri Lanka, where an order's been signed by the island's public security minister to ban the burqa. The proposal to ban the Islamic veil will now be presented to Parliament, and the minister expects it to be approved.
Police in Bolivia have arrested the former interim president, Janine Áñez, who's been charged with conspiracy and sedition. She's accused of joining in a plot to oust former leader Evo Morales, but says that no coup ever took place.
The Grammys weekend is underway, with BTS and others performing at a virtual charity concert ahead of Sunday's Music Awards ceremony itself.
And police in Spain have made an unusual seizure during raids across the country.
A 9-metre homemade submarine.
It was capable of transporting up to 2 tons of drugs.
0859G. BBC Minutes.
Hello, Laura and James with
Hot news, cool vibes, sports, and more on the Integrity Station.
Countdown 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get the box. Feel the music. On your radio. Splash, the height of entertainment.
In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmund Obilo, on State Affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmund Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
Daganan kilo bejanin kom lo moham. Di bejama Manalom Muasabenge Kaputo
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo.
Now, I have asked some questions. Are the bandits getting closer to Oyo State? I mean bandits kidnapping school children. Are they getting closer? But let me introduce my Oyo Citizens app to you. What does the app help you to do? My Oyo app raises your interest in governance by bringing government actions and decisions close to you. So you can download the app on Google Play Store. You can report problems on the app. The app enables you to report a problem or situation around you to government. So don't just complain. Complain on the app. You can get facts on the app. You can get right information about what government is doing on my Oyo Citizens app. Remember, it's not a government app. It's my app, your app, our app. We built the app. App for development. My Oyo app for development, using Oyo State as a case study, gathering data on Sheyi Makinde. Election year will be interesting. Will we analyze the data that we are gathering by the day? From complaints people are making on the app, how many have government responded to? Because sometimes we visit these complaint zones. Get my Oyo app on Google Play Stores. You can contact your representatives on the app. You can contact Senator Folari on that app. You can find Fatai Buhari on the app. You can contact him. Go on the app. You can contact MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies of government on the app. I recommend my app to you, my Oyo app. Let's make government work. And we have come to the point where we have seen that government do not have the capacity to do good. In that case, the people must fill in that vacuum by doing good. So I'm saying we are gradually getting to that point of leaderless revolution, where individuals will exert so much progress that government becomes not too relevant anymore, especially in Africa, because we have given our hope to government over the years, and government continues to fail. So my Oyo app is a community of citizens engaging for development. Hello, Mr. Femi Peters. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Ed. It's been quite a while, and good morning, listeners at home, and most especially the lovers and fans of your program. Good morning, Nigeria. Thank you.
Uluo Motosho, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Edmund, good morning. Thanks for having me.
About 30 students of the Federal College of Forestry, Kaduna, are said to be missing after gunmen invaded the school. You know Kaduna. Kaduna is like the military zone of Nigeria. What has happened to the military capacity that Nigeria exerted in Kaduna State?
Well, Ed, there's no longer any viable or functional security in Nigeria. And let me quickly take what the last caller said about the government, saying, after the last one, the one before this one, there was not going to be any more kidnapping and stuff like that. And if you believe that, well, you believe anything.
The president gave a shoot-on-sight order.
Shoot-on-sight order. How did the AK-47 get into the hands of the bandits to start with? We go to the root causes. It's not just, papering over the crack and, looking at it's not about rhetorics. It's about, doing something tangible. It's about being practical about, security. More often than not, and I keep saying this at every opportunity that I have, the security architecture of this country is long overdue for review. But then again, for a complete overhaul. But then again, by and large, in all strata of government, we so much used to this, debilitating approach to security, the fire brigade approach. We're never proactive. We're never intelligence-led.
Now,
and in such a vacuum, this is what you see.
Let's read Buhari's statement. Let's measure his words. So we are going to listen to President Buhari giving that shoot-on-sight order. Let's see how serious the president is. Let's measure his tone.
But in the Northwest, virtually the same people, the same culture, stealing each other's cattle or whatever, killing each other, burn their villages. As a result of that, we had 4 hours meeting of the Security Council. That is Minister of Internal Affairs, Minister of Defense, Service Chiefs, Chief of Defense Staff, Inspector General of Police, and the rest of them. And nearly we gave them clear instructions. One thing that got to the press, which I read myself, was that anybody with AK-47 should be shot. Because AK-47 is supposed to be registered and is only given to security officials.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Oluwamotosho, the president started by looking at the Northwest. People of the same tribe, of the same religion, he says they are killing themselves. Does that not tell you that Buhari is a nationalist?
Well, nationalism, when you talk about somebody being a nationalist, I think it has to be in certain context. Yes, he's a nationalist because right now he's the leader of our country, is the father of all, and every citizen of this country look up to him, and as a leader, as a father, he has to occupy and play that role. But I think the question that I want to ask is he really doing that?
Because the reason I raised that point is that Buhari has been branded as an ethnic jingoist. But he's making that point there to traditional rulers. He was speaking to traditional rulers from all over the country, saying in the Northwest, people of the same tribe, of the same religion are killing themselves. His own people. Yeah. So when some people come here to also kill, we say Fulani has come to kill. But Buhari is now saying even Fulani is killing Fulani in the Northwest.
Yes, that's it. But then, when you will really interrogate that statement and then look deeper into the situation that we have in the Northwest, we'll discover that even government has said it repeatedly, that most of these bandits are not even Nigerians. So if they are not Nigerians and they are coming, so for the president to say, look, they are killing themselves. Now, we really need to interrogate that. Are they Nigerians that are killing Nigerians? These are foreigners. These are aliens that are not even part of us. And that's the reason why they are so brutal. Because whatever they do, they don't feel it. Because we are not them. We are not part of them. They are not part of us.
Yes, Mr. Femi Peters, I've heard this argument about foreigners coming, as if we don't have terrorists that are Nigerian.
I'll tell you, I'll quickly go to, support what my friend just said, Comrade Motosho. We should look at the root causes. But then, one, how did those Fulani men get into Nigeria? Kawu Baraje, APC chieftain, national chieftain, and they're from Kwara State.
Former chieftain.
Former chieftain. Is now in the PDP. No, I think it's still in APC.
No, it's in the PDP.
It's in PDP now.
Saraki's man.
Okay, Kawu Baraje. You know what he said about 2015 election?
Yeah.
He said they imported Fulanis to cause chaos and to help Buhari win the election. Now, there were promises made. These guys came in, they did a bit, they were paid. But then perhaps on the probability of balance, they found out that, hey, it was good here. Why should I be doing these heads, heading, collecting peanuts when I could be used for security purposes or for political purposes and make money? They refused to go. Some of them even said, look, we weren't duly paid. They refused to go. The AK-47 that they were given, the deadly weapons, AK-47 is no child's play. You're looking at about 690-something rounds in just a few minutes. AK-47 will hit a target, line of sight, about 2,000 yards.
2,000 yards.
2,000 yards is a combat, from my professional experience, is a combat weapon.
And it's not pure water.
That is pure water. That you should not even seen by, like where President Buhari said it, should be issued to those in security agencies and so, most especially the frontline operatives. But then again, talking about those people killing themselves, President Buhari should have been sincere enough and ask his handlers, how did these guys get into Nigeria to start with?
He should be asking.
He should be asking his own men.
They brought them in.
But I just said it, but then from that broadcast by Buhari never said anything about it. He said something like Northwest, in his own area, his own people killing themselves. But like you rightly said, one of the topics or one of the topical discussions for this program is this thing coming to the Southwest? Is it coming to Oyo State?
Now, shoot on sight. Anybody seen with AK-47? What about if the AK-47 wielding man sees the military man first?
Of course, because two of them are carrying AK-47, so it should be shoot on sight. So it will be the fastest.
The fastest?
Yes.
But the way President Buhari gave the order, he just gave the order casually, as if it's not the military that can shoot.
Yeah, you see, let's thank him at least for making that effort, at least for speaking up. At least whether he actually meant it or not, he has said something. And the simple fact that he has said that will have some psychological impact on some of the bandits. At least some of them that are, not all of them are that hardened. Some of them still have this soft mind. At least when they hear that, they don't want to die too. And when they now hear that the president is saying, look, shoot at sight, now they want to be careful where they go. But then, we have had this so many times. Is there any political will behind that pronouncement?
I doubt it so much.
So if there is no political will behind it, that's just something that, okay, everybody is saying, Buhari speak to us, Buhari speak to us. Yeah. Let me just speak to them. And he has said that. Now we had it. At least now we are discussing it, and everybody is talking about it. The president said this, the president said that. Now, we are waiting to see what impact it's going to have. Now, everybody lives in fear now. Anywhere you want to go, you look to the left, or you look to the right, even before you drive out of your compound. And everywhere you are going, you are glued to your mirrors. to make sure that you are not being trailed.
Is it that bad?
It's that bad. It's that bad. It's here. Not before now. It was in the southeast. I mean, in the northwest. Now northeast, and now, even now, it's at our backyard. It's at our backyard.
We talk about Igogon.
Of course. And see what happened around Shaki and others. See what is happening. See what happened in Ekiti. See what is happening in Ondo. So they're already here. And I think I overheard your discussion on an earlier session. I think the problem we're having is the kind of people that we have at the helms of affairs at the state level now. They don't seem to understand what it takes to be the henchman or to be the leader or to be a governor at the state level. They do not seem to understand the power, the enormous power that a governor had. Now, Fayose did that when he was there. He got a bit of it. He understood and he utilized it. Look at what Akeredolu is doing. Until Akeredolu stood up and said, look, I don't want these foreign herdsmen, people that are not registered in our forest. Now, when they said that, everybody was talking, look, it's the federal government that owns the forest. You cannot send anybody away. But at a point, when they started opening the books, they discovered that even the forest is under the control of the governor.
The state, yeah.
So it's as if the governors don't really understand what they are doing. And from the statement of the president, stop running to me. Take charge. The governor should begin to think out of the box.
Let's listen to the president again. It tells them to stop running to the presidency, that they should exert themselves.
When two governors of Ondo and Oyo State rushed me when there was this crisis in several of the forests, I said, go back. After leaving secondary school, I joined the military from second lieutenant to general. And I knew during those processes, in each local government and in each locality, there is a security council. The traditional leader there, institution, whichever police officer at whichever level will be there. And then if there are herders or people from other areas which are non-indigenous, they are part of it. This committee was throughout Nigeria. And they used to report up to the state governor. And then the state governor, if there is something more serious, he brought it to the president. I say, go and resuscitate the security apparatus. The traditional rulers leaders cannot go away from wherever they are. So they are permanently in that committee. And then cattle rearers or business people or whatever, like what caused a problem in Southwest recently, they are representing those committees. And of course the Nigerian police will be there. So that security issues are tackled appropriately at every level. Now we have relaxed. Anything that happens, somebody will run to the presidency.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Femi Peters.
Let me quickly, on what Buhari just said, what we just heard from him, that's rhetoric. Reality is far-fetched from rhetoric. State governors run to you. They go back to their domain. You ask them to take charge. Who controls the police? Who controls the DSS? Who controls the civil defense? See, it's difficult to do anything tangible based on your own problems within the state. Your peculiar problems. Because what's going on in Ondo and similarly Oyo may be different from what is obtainable in Lagos. But then you are controlling, everything is over-centralized. The security, the security arrangement. And if it's centralized, if I'm a governor of Oyo State, Shey Makinde, I get the CP an order. IGP gave her another order. What do you think she's gonna obey? She will obey a first line order. That is the IGP.
And the governor will take her up.
Well, the governor might take it up, but at the end of the day, 9 out of 10 times it comes to nada. It comes to nothing.
You escalate it.
You want.
That's what Buhari is saying. Escalate it.
And that's what Akeredolu did. We talked about Amotekun. They shouted in the northwest, you're not supposed to do this. You're using this for political purposes and stuff like that. But for all its ills and shortcomings, it is long overdue we had state or regional policing. If I'm in charge, people will quickly say, I'm going to use the CP for my own political stuff. And look, good goes with bad. You're not going to have it 100% right. But then you look at the advantages and disadvantages.
But the governors are not fighting hard enough for a restructured Nigeria.
Then that's another thing entirely. But then still on this security something. It's difficult for a governor. It's difficult for me to blame Sheyi Makinde because his control over security organizations within the state are limited.
Do you know how much security votes Sheyi Makinde controls?
Well, he gets a lot of money like the rest of them.
Is it not he who controls wealth that controls security?
Then even if he spent all that money, where you have a conflict between state and federal when it comes to security, believe you me, 9 out of 10 times, the federal consideration supersedes the state.
Yes.
I quite agree with you that it should have been escalated the way Akeredolu did it. But then going back to Amotekun, Buhari said, shoot anybody with AK-47. Amotekun will be trained. I know that much. Comrade Omotosho knows that much. Amotekun will be trained, like kind of paramilitary training and stuff like that. But then when the NSA or the IG said or pronounced that Amotekun cannot bear lethal weapons. So what the heck is that? If the police and the security agencies were under Sheyi Makinde would have brought AK-47, fire for fire. But then you want this Amotekun, most especially the front line ops, to go to the field with what? Single barrel, double barrel? At the very best, pump action against AK-47, you'll be torn to shreds.
Please intervene.
You see, I think the time is now. We are at a point where we should begin to look into the kind of arrangement that we have. Like my friend will say, the federal government is suffering from administrative constipation. Now, we have too much given to the center. And as a result of that, the center is becoming quite inefficient. And when you look at the way things are done, there are so many things that is responsible for that. You see, I don't have any problem. We've practiced this central system for some time now, this unitary system for some time, but we've never had it this bad. Now, and we are having it this bad now because bigotry and a lot of things, a lot of considerations have come into a system of appointing people. Now, I want to put somebody I can trust. I want to put somebody that will cover my ass. I want to put somebody that will not antagonize or stand up against me when I speak. I want to put somebody who is my kinsman. And by that, we have relegated efficiency. We have relegated real and the right way of choosing who should occupy which position. We have relegated that. We now use mundane consideration to say because he's from here, and at the end of it, when they get there and they don't perform, you want to remove them. Your kinsman will run to you and say, look, why do you want to do that? He's your kinsman. He should be there. Now, government at the center had become, yes, it is our clown's time now. We are there now. Let's do what we can do. Let's put the people. Let's put our people there, so that by the time we get there and they get, I mean, it has become. When they get there, we'll take our own. Okay, no problem. Let's leave them. Let's support them now. When we get there, we will do our own too. And that's the mindset of the average politician that we have in this country today. They are not looking out for the welfare of the people. They are not looking out to make the country greater. They are looking out at the opportunity for them to just get there, get their wallets filled, and then come out to lord it over the people.
Now let's come back to this kidnapping of schoolgirls and schoolboys. More than 250 were kidnapped in Jangabe in Zamfara State on the 26th of February. A search party was sent and the girls were returned. On 11 December 2020, bandits struck in Kankara, Katsina State, kidnapping more than 300 boys from Government Science Secondary School. On 17 December, 344 of the victims were freed from a forest in Zamfara State. Nigeria sweats under the heat of extreme violence. The kidnapping of the Jangabe girls reminds one of Chibok girls. Chibok girls were kidnapped on 14th April 2014. As we look at the map, it's getting closer. It's in Kaduna now. In case of bandits, it's already everywhere. But the kidnapping of schoolgirls is getting closer to the southwest. Will it get here?
Well, let me address, quickly just say something, and, to what Comrade has just said about the security, again, about the security forces, about the headship and stuff like that. Believe you me, if you don't put a square peg in a square hole, and, this appointment at, elsewhere, DSAs and stuff like that, at the federal level, if you don't go by merit, and you have extraneous considerations like ethno-religious and what that crap is, that's going to affect productivity. And that's what we're seeing at the present point in time. Because then it is so rife now in the security agencies that where you come from determines what you get. And it's not a merit. And when you do that, how does that person, out of that second-rated personnel, represent well the objectives and aims of the organization? It's going to be counterproductive. It's been going on, but then nobody will talk about it. Not even those people, not even those personnel in the security agencies, for fear of oath of this and stuff like that. We are outside, but we know what goes on inside. And as long as that obtains, believe you me, we're never going to get it right. Now, quickly coming back to whether this thing is going. Well, it's obvious it's going to get to us. Now it's sooner, not later. If those buggers could take the battle to the president's own state.
When he was on ground.
When he was on ground. When he's still the president. The death that kills.
They welcomed him home.
Of course now. The death that kills our forefathers bids us get ready.
It's getting closer. Will he get to the southwest?
Well, this idiot, I'll call them that, because bandits, that's what they are. They have seen, Nigeria had become their constituency. There is virtually nowhere, no part of Nigeria that they are not operating right now. They have, they have a ring, and they have a way they operate.
Is it that they've encircled the country?
Of course, they have done that.
Oh, yeah.
They have done that.
How did they do that? Were we sleeping? What happened?
We weren't sleeping interstate.
I sit down and say, were we sleeping? How do you seem they're everywhere?
Let me tell you something quickly. Interstate movement, either by air, land borders and stuff like that, who checks anything? Nobody. And these people would have been shipped here. You see them on Okada. They don't speak Hausa. They don't speak broken. Forget about the English.
Who is
they speak
shipping
for
them?
food. Well, ask the federal government that controls the security apparatuses.
I should also be asking the governors.
But you are asking the governors. Listen, you are asking the governors. Let's take Oyo State, for instance. Who mans our borders? Who mans the borders to Lagos State? Nigerian Immigration Service. Who is in control of Nigerian Immigration Service? Who does the comptroller or deputy comptroller reports to? To the governor? Nope.
Must everybody report to the governor for the governor to be effective?
Oh, well, you say, because of the constitution we operate.
I also want you to look at how much a governor controls.
Yeah. And
with the present constitution, a governor is powerful.
He controls a lot.
So he cannot be outside the blame.
It's not, the governor is within the blame loop. Are you with me? You made mention of something now, security votes and stuff like that. But then, constitution again, nothing enforces a governor on how to spend that vote. It's a lot of money. Is a hell lot of money, but nobody. The military constitution is crap. If we want all this done, we have to revisit that constitution.
Revisit the
constitution to reflect the collective will of the people for collective good.
I know that's what you stand for, law of motor show.
Of course, the constitution is a crap, and it has to be seen.
But there's no perfect constitution.
There is none. But this is worse.
But this is extreme.
Worse. Because there are a lot of lacuna there, like our learned friends would say. Now, and a lot of people, these bandits are coming in. And don't forget, the bandits are not just operating. They have godfathers.
Oh, yeah.
They have sponsors in government. They have sponsors. These bandits, when you look at them, some of them, where you look at them, you know they cannot afford anything. They cannot get 20,000 naira to buy a weapon. And yet, they carry AK-47.
Brand new ones, no second one.
So certainly, some people are giving it to them. And don't forget, these bandits they are not coming in from the south here. They are coming in from the northern border. And the president should be blamed. And anytime I have the opportunity, I do that. I blame him for it.
Okay.
Sometime the president went out at an ECOWAS meeting, AU meeting. He said, come to Nigeria. Only our borders are open. Just come.
I think, is anything wrong with that?
Everything.
There's a lot wrong with it.
Everything is wrong with it.
We'll be back after this break. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
ọ̀rẹ́ wa ìjẹ́ egbògi yoyo bitters ń bá àgọ́ ara rẹ ṣọ̀rẹ́ bí? ìtumọ̀ ni pé ṣé ò ń lo egbògi yoyo bitters lójoojúmọ́? yoyo bitters egbògi tó ń dáàbò bo ara kúrò lọ́wọ́ àrùn àti àìsàn. o lè máa lo yoyo bitters bí oúnjẹ aṣaralóore tàbí kí o máa lò ó bí oògùn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìmọ̀ràn àwọn dókítà. yoyo bitters egbògi tó ń fọ gẹ̀dẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ara ni. yoyo bitters lọ́gán ló máa ń dẹ́kun ọ̀pá ẹ̀yìn tó ń roni. yoyo bitters ọ̀pọ̀ inú tó kún lákùnjù gbé e lura kára rẹ̀ ó yá gágá. yoyo bitters àmàrà ẹni jí pépé fúnni lókun àti ṣiṣẹ́ akin. ó ń gbani lọ́wọ́ àìsàn àti àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn. ìdí nìyí tó fi gbọ́dọ̀ ní yoyo bitters lárọ̀ọ́wọ́tò rẹ nínú ilé lọ́fíìsì níbikíbi. ó wà lólómi lóní gel àti ní kóró. tètè lọ ilé ìtajà ògùn tó bá súnmọ́. yoyo bitters ọ̀rẹ́ ìmùlẹ̀ tí ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ́n ni. yoyo bitters kára ó mọ́ tinú tòde.
1960 bets don't return with big FCO as they don't arrange new management. They don't come back better and stronger. Then they pay commission to their agents' bank accounts and winnings to their customers. Sharply. No delay. You can do football or virtual games plus live bet jackpot for inside 1960 bets. Visit their website on top www.1960bets.com. 1960 bets. Play and win.
When we say the new Maltina pineapple and vanilla tastes like adventure, here's what we mean. You kit up like an action hero. Check yourself out in the mirror. And then, in slow-mo, you grab a chilled bottle of Maltina pineapple or Maltina vanilla. And enjoy the tastespiration.
Own the flavor with the new Maltina Vanilla Pineapple O Classic and let the tastespiration fill you. Maltina. Share happiness.
iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná a máa fúnni ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ a sì máa mú ìdẹ̀rùn wá láti wá dènà ìjàmbá iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná ojúlówó wáyà tàbí kébù ló yẹ ká fi fa iná nínú ilé lọ́fíìsì àti nínú ìlú Purochem wires and cables ní àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ mọ̀nàmọ́ná àti àwọn agbaṣẹ́ṣe yàn láàyò ojúlówó ni kì í bó lára kò kì í jóná àbáàdì kì í kán sínú ó sì fi ni lọ́kàn balẹ̀ ìdí nìyí tí Standard Organization of Nigeria fi fòun tẹ̀tẹ̀ tí Nigeria Electrical Contractors náà fi dìbò fún bí copper cable ṣe wà ní aluminium cable ń bẹ nípele lówó tí kò gún pa Purochem wires and cables tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Kaman ló ṣe ojúlówó wires and cable jáde olú ilé-iṣẹ́ Purochem wires and cables limited wà ní Afrin's compound 4th gate number 122/132 Oṣòdì Apapa expressway ìyànà ìsọlọ bus stop Lagos ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní 080-803-03257 Purochem wires and cables ìrọ̀rùn fi iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná.
Babes, good morning. How are you doing? Good morning, Ojere. See, now I'm just tired, my friend. I'm thinking of how we get to the market to buy food stuff and provision again. See, it's a big problem for me. Oh.
Are you really serious? Haven't you heard of Food Locker? A place where you can get all your food stuff and groceries affordably and without stress. In fact, you can sit at home, in your office, anywhere and order everything you need at www.foodlocker.com.ng and they will deliver right at your doorstep. They have yams, gari, meat, crayfish, oil, provisions, even pap kogi. Let me switch your belly safe. Their prices are so affordable and very comparable with market prices. You will even get farm fresh vegetables, chicken and fruits, and they also have continental products.
Please stop giving yourself problems. Just go to www.foodlocker.com.ng or download the Food Locker mobile app from Google Play Store and shop. They are headquartered in Ibadan and they deliver across many states. This is good news. Thank you very much, my friend. You are a lifesaver. www.foodlocker.com.ng is the answer.
For further details, call 0903-178-7037. Food Locker. All your food stuff and groceries in one place.
A fully furnished, nice and comfortable hostel accommodation in University of Ibadan, or a place for seminars and executive trainings at the same venue? You do not have to worry. Adebayo Akonde Hall suits your lodging needs and provides you a home away from home. Adebayo Akonde Hall is a 4-star hostel built in a serene environment with constant supply of electricity. It has fully furnished rooms that gives you great comfort at an affordable price. Adebayo Akonde Hall is located at Ajibode Extension, University of Ibadan. To make reservations, visit www.adebayohall.com or call the numbers 0805-699-8718, 0805-699-8719, 0805-699-8720. Adebayo Akonde Hall. Built for comfort. Built for you.
Looking for a school to enroll your child in? Christ Ambassadors International College is a co-educational day and boarding secondary school with a mandate to raise outstanding leaders who will influence their world positively. Our entrance examination is on Saturday, 13th March 2021 at the school premises, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Time 8 a.m. For more information, visit our website, christambassadorscollege.com or contact us on 0704-519-6127.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
I have a petition here. It's an open petition against indiscriminate arrest and detention of Mr. Idu Afo, Amotekun coordinator, and Mr. Ibikunle Ayuola, Amotekun Operations Commander. Femi Aborishade, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Thanks very much for having me.
Tell us about this story, briefly.
Well, I have been briefed as a lawyer by the Itile Community Development Association about the arrest of 2 Amotekun operatives.
By the police?
By the police. They are being currently detained at Yagaku. And they merely led other Amotekun operatives to Bedu, the community under the control of Itasa community in Iwajowa local government, to invite a herder who uprooted cassava and yam tubers and fed his cattle with them. They went to invite him for a discussion over compensation in accordance with the memorandum of understanding that is existing. In actual fact, the Serikin Fulani cooperated with the Amotekhuns to get him to go along with the Amotekhuns. But along the line, the friend of this herder came out with, according to them, according to the brief that we have, with dangerous weapons and attacked some of the Amotekhuns. In natural fact, 2 of the Amotekhuns are still receiving treatment in the hospital in Iwerele. So the question now is, on what grounds would the 2 Amotekun officers being detained? Those who inflicted injuries, fatal injuries, have not been arrested and detained. Those who went, to ensure peace in conjunction with even the Fulani community, they are now the ones being detained. So we call in this petition on the police authorities to carry out thorough investigation and ensure that they do not appear to be given the impression of encouraging brazen criminality.
You have some Amotekun members with you here?
Yeah, one of them.
One of them. What's your name?
Orúkọ mi ni Peter Ọláògùn.
So what happened?
Ìkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé àgbẹ̀ wá sọ́dọ̀ wa láti fẹ́ ṣe settlement láàrin òun àti Fúlàní pé ká lọ bá òun arrest ẹnìyàn láti ṣe settlement. But bàtà dé ibi ọ̀dọ̀ Fúlàní yẹn, Sẹ́ríkì Fúlàní, òun fúnra rẹ̀ ló bá mú Fúlàní ta fẹ́ mú láti mú dé di mútò Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn láti ṣe settlement láàrin ara wa. Gbogbo àwọn Fúlàní tó kù tó jẹ́ ọmọ kéékèèké wọ́n ní àwọn ò gbà láti jẹ́ kí á mú ẹnìyàn láti lọ.
Yeah, he has reported that a farmer, and that is the farmer standing behind him, had reported to the office of the Amotekun that his farm was destroyed by a particular herder, and they went to that Bedu community where the herder resides with a view to inviting him for a discussion. He said further that the Serikin Fulani, one Alhaji Chumon, also cooperated to ensure that the herder who destroyed the farm was going along with them, but that some other herders now resisted and came out to attack the Amotekhuns.
How were you attacked?
Yeah, that they were attacked with guns and cutlasses.
How many Amotekun went for that arrest? How many of you?
That there are many. Any number?
9 or 11 people.
About 9, between 9 and 11 Amotekun operatives.
So how many herders attacked you?
Those who attacked them are many.
So they went to a Fulani community to effect the arrest?
To effect the arrest.
And you were attacked?
Yes.
Tell us, why did you go to report to Amotekun? What happened? Tell us your name.
Èmi ni mo gbé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni yẹn lọ láti jẹ́ pé oko tó ń bàjẹ́ lọ́dọọdún nọ́mbà oko yẹn jẹ́. Ìgbà tó bà oko yẹn jẹ́, mo lọ bá wọn. Ǹjẹ́ wá ká sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, ó ní kí n máa ń ṣe lọ́dọ̀ Sẹ́ríkì Fúlàní. Òun bọ̀ wá bá mi ń bẹ̀. Láti bẹ̀, mo padà lọ síbẹ̀. Sẹ́ríkì rẹ̀ mi lọ àti Fúlàní kan wípé òun dúró de. Bàbá yẹn jókòó lásán kò wá. Ìgbà tó di àárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì, mo lọ sí ibi tí màálù wọn wà. Wọ́n ti di ẹrù wọn, wọ́n ti fẹ́ máa lọ. Lílọ tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa lọ, mo ní láti mú ẹnìkan níbẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹni tí ó bà oko jẹ́ gangan bẹ́ẹ̀ ló dé. Dídé tó dé, ó ní kí n ṣe sùúrù. Àbúrò ẹ̀ ó ti bà oko mi jẹ́. Ó dẹ̀ ló ń bọ̀ asọ́dọ̀ Sẹ́ríkì kò wá. Ó bá ní kí n fẹ́ ni ẹ sílẹ̀, mo ní mi ní fi sílẹ̀ pé ká máa ṣó nínú oko. Ìgbà tá dó inú oko tó rí gbogbo ohun tó bàjẹ́ kò tiẹ̀ rìn débì kankan rárá. Ló bá ní kí n sọ̀rọ̀ iye tí màá gbà. Mo ní màá gba 10 million.
State Affairs with Edmund Obilo is live.
Okay, that was part of our last week's discussion on this program. And to announce to you that the Amotekun operatives that were arrested by the police were released yesterday at about 7 p.m. So they spent about a week with the police. I played that story so that we can reflect on what Amotekun really is. Is Amotekun the leopard that will save the people?
Well, quickly, I can only appeal to our governors, the six governors, and through Dawn Commission that conceptualize this regional security template. It's as good as it is. They are not allowed by federal might or federal authority to carry little, weapons and stuff like that. But then again, it comes in two places. If I cannot carry that, at least I can carry what, something that can act as a deterrent. That's number one. And I'm not going to say that because, the governors have their security, advisors and, the layers of, security stuff. But then again, I will appeal to them individually and collectively. This week, this moment, we should stop being, we should stop the fire brigade approach that we've all, we're known to be for in Nigeria. Let's be proactive for once. These guys will go out there, and I keep saying, who protect the protectors? The Amotekun guys are the protectors, at least when they are attacked in such manner that we just listened to. What did they have as part of uniform items or PPE to defend themselves? At least the basic requirement in this kind of operation, you need the head protector, ballistic helmet. You need body protector, bulletproof helmet.
For Amotekun?
For Amotekun. At least if they are not allowed to carry lethal weapons, they can defend themselves in such situation. So injuries and, death, situations, could be avoided.
They are being attacked by others. They are also being attacked by police.
See, the solution to the problem, to the quagmire in which we are now, is the scrapping of this constitution we're talking about. Is it a constitution that grants power, that gives all the power to the center at the expense of the state, will never work. Now, when we were practicing regionalism, we have the central police, we have the state, and then we have the local. Now, we have a constitution then, a national constitution, and each of the region had their own constitution too. Now, we must go back to that kind of situation, that kind of arrangement, where the state governor will have authority over the state police and be able to, you have people, there is absolutely nothing that should stop Amotekun from carrying weapons.
That's true.
Now, you are sending them out.
But they carry weapons. I see them with guns.
What they have are toys. What would that do? What would that do when confronting a man carrying AK-47, even AK-49?
But when we were growing up, those were the kind of guns police were using.
Yes, then, because the situation has changed now. What you refer to, the fastest plane we had then would take about days before getting to UK. Now you can travel to UK under 5 hours. So things had really changed.
But with the way we are going to have everybody carrying machine guns on the name of security.
Eventually, that's where we are going.
Soon we are going to give road safety AK-47.
Of course, that's where we are going.
I mean, we are going mad.
Of course we will, because the people who are there are mad. So all of us must go mad.
Then we are dead.
Yes.
We may not be, not to say that we will be dead.
There's too much gun. I'm very uncomfortable. You see a DSS officer.
Yeah.
In an event center, look at the machine gun is holding.
Yeah.
Look, Ed, I can understand your apprehension. But then let me tell you something. Like Comrade just said, I don't think we have gotten to that level where every individual, we don't go the American way yet. Believe you me. If we can tame this monster, this banditry cross-national criminality and stuff like that. Let the security forces, let them carry weapons. I'm not talking about individuals now. And let's see how far they go. But then, there isn't much they can do under the present constitution. As a state governor, if I have no total control over security agencies within my state, so what else?
Let them fight for it. If they are that, let them, you see, these are governors in their states. Yeah. Let them fight for a restructured Nigeria.
Oh, well, then they have
senators.
Like you have rightly said, what?
They have senators, they have members of reps.
Oh, boy,
and they control houses of assembly. So fight for a restructured Nigeria.
Oh, boy, let's forget that. How many senators have been recalled or reps have been recalled? Money will change hands and people will recant and say, oh, no, his enemies are.
Are you saying the governors are irresponsible?
No, I've never said that. They are responsible as far as they can go. Now, you're talking about a governor, not necessarily on your state, Benue or anywhere. He's only done a term. He's looking to do the second term. He wouldn't want to do anti-people policies because by the time you start limiting what people do that are wrong, then they think, oh yeah, sure, but he's going to come back in 2023 and we're going to deal with him. So they are in a quagmire.
Great leaders don't have such mindsets.
Well, then under the present system, under this political system, oh boy, the day you consider doing that, you know, all these populist things that will move the nation forward, forget about your second term.
So what do you need it for? If you are a great leader?
Well, then...
If you are a great leader, those things don't matter to you.
You ask a governor, I'm not a governor.
We don't have people that think about coming generation now. We have people that look at the survivor of their family and people within their clan.
Then the state will remain in chaos.
Of course. And that's the reason why the status quo must change.
That is why they cannot even fight for a restructured Nigeria.
Of course they can now because they know it's going to make them to lose that position and that seat.
Restructured Nigeria
they are not selfless.
They are not.
Restructured Nigeria is, believe you me, restructured Nigeria is not going to come easy.
It's not going to come easy.
Well, for you,
it will come.
Somehow.
It will come. Maybe not in my own lifetime. Somehow it will come. But if you think it's going to come through this present crop of lawmakers, and, oh boy, forget it.
All right. We just have to go. Olu Omotosho, thank you for featuring on State Affairs.
Thanks for having me, Edmund.
Femi Peters, thank you for coming.
Thank you, bro. And our listeners, thank you at home. Nigeria will be better. Either as one entity or broken up entity. Thank you.
All right. I'd rather it be one Nigeria. But the question belongs to the Nigerian people. I am Edmund Obilo. I work with Bosun Alayonde to bring you this edition of the program. Yemi Prodigy is here. Tosin Ayeni is also here. Thank you for listening. The next program is Ijoba Ibile with Double A. Double A recently got married. It's good to be married. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. Boso agrees with me. Thank you for listening.
Daganan kilo bejaning kom lo moham.